right, good to see you all. Welcome. Happy Thursday, everybody. Good to see you, Chuck Grant, Andrea. By the way, Andrea, I got your text. I can't believe I'm not going to see you up in Toronto after all these years. So hopefully we'll meet up next time, my old friend. I know a bunch of you are going to come and see me in Toronto. I'm going to be at on-site. So hopefully let's see a bunch of you. I know some of you are going to be showing up. I'll see you then. But anyway, exciting morning. Couple of things that are moving. We've got this Wheeler that's moving. Couple of stocks. I want to, especially this one that got destroyed, hammered. We're going to talk about that one because it was a great short. You could have got in the after hours, and we'll get a couple of good pops too on some other stocks. We're going to check those out. But before we get started, talk about some of the stocks that are moving that we traded yesterday. You know, it's funny. It's like, it seems like every day we're getting like these really big 200, 300% movers. And it's weird because usually we only get like maybe like one or twice a week, but it's been like almost every day. And sometimes we've been getting it twice a day. And that's just like the super extreme. And when you see stuff like this, you're like wondering, like, why would nobody even want to, get involved in this? So I spoke to, just to let you know, I spoke to some of you yesterday, and I know there was some of you here need to, talk to your wife. You got to talk to, you got to think about it, this and that. But, listen, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, it's a big commitment. But just remember, for some of you that are watching online and watching on YouTube and everything else, let me explain to you how trading works. And I always use this metaphor, okay? You've been in this room and you'll see things. And once again, we don't tell you what to buy. We just show you what's moving. You have to hit the button. But this is the only thing that kind of confuses me. If you hire someone, after going through all those interviews, and you know how hard it is to find people to work, the right person, and you finally made that investment to hire someone, and they're working for you for about 2-3 months, and they're not making you any money, they don't get it. What are you going to do? Keep paying the person? Keep training them? No, you're going to fire them. So the point I'm trying to get to is this. If you've been doing something for 2 months, 3 months, like I talked to somebody yesterday, he's been trading for a year, loves it, knows everything about options, everything. I'm like, great. How much you making? 6 figures? He's like, oh no, I lost 70,000 last year, and this year I'm breaking even. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. And then they come here and you see this moving up. They're like, I don't know, it's too fast. I'm like, listen, you think this is fast? You're trading something 5 times harder. So I just want to kind of make that comment really quick, because we're going to go and show you what we traded yesterday for some of you that are watching for the first time, and some of you here that still got to think about it. And then maybe, hopefully, you know what, you got to. This is the front line. So when you turn on the financial stations and you see them on a New York Stock Exchange, this is what they're doing. So let's talk about some of those big winners that I'm talking about. So let's start off with this PALI. So PALI yesterday, you could see here right out of the gate at 9 o'clock in the morning, we had a good pop on the stock, cheap little stock. Look, it went all the way to $1, and the thing by 11 o'clock was already at $1.90. That is literally almost 100% mover. It's cheaper than an option. It was a lot more controllable. It was a lot easier to trade. Just a fun stock over round and round. AMC. Everybody wants to trade AMC. This is one of the meme stocks. It was such a great short. Okay, great short. This stock right here, you could see it. Once it broke this big support levels right here around 1057, it was game over. This stock did a reverse stock split. It's the worst thing that could happen. It's not technically an $8 stock. It was worse than that. They did a 10-for-1 reverse stock split. Stock is getting crushed, okay? Great short yesterday. I don't know about I saw we made a good pop, and I don't know if this was just a fake pop, and it came right back down. I'm going to scratch that one out. ICCT. This is the one also. Big run up. $2 stock went to $20. This thing is up about almost 1,000%, and it was a great run up yesterday. Once again, short squeeze, but it had a nice little pop right around here around 9:30, ran from 770, and about 30 minutes ran to about 1050. Another nice mover. This one was really cool. This one was nice. I like this one right here. This one right in the middle of the day. We finished commentary, which, by the way, if you're on social media, we're going to be broadcasting live all the way to 10:30. So don't log out. Something new we're going to be doing for everybody online, so you guys can watch a little bit what we do. So anyway, NBSE, great mover, 11 o'clock, $1.30. Kidding me? $3. Great little move right here. Even if you jumped in later on 12 o'clock, you had this 220. They were great iceberg orders. Big pop right there. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then NVAX was pretty decent. That one moved pretty good. NVAX is moving pretty nice. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if this has something to do with COVID or, I know the First Lady got COVID. I know, listen, did you guys hear what President Biden wants to do? Did everybody hear what's happening about the masks? They're considering some other states are mandating masks at schools. Listen, like it or not, there's going to be an opportunity to make money. I don't know. Is it making some of the COVID stocks move? Is it going to make, is the masks going to stop moving? These are things we're going to look at. Now, remember, you can't take things personal or political. I know I lost a lot of traders because they look at that. They're like, oh, you're anti-Trump. Oh, no, you're anti-Biden. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do that these catastrophes make opportunities, and you just got to know how to capitalize on them, okay? If you believe in global warming or you totally think it's a hoax, listen, there are stocks out there that, it depends who's there. Those are things that how we make our money, okay? No, exactly, Andrea. Very good. Very well said. All right, so let's go over what's moving today because there are a couple of stocks. There is one stock getting destroyed, okay? Hammered. Way to go right here. Which one was it? Was it this one? No. Where'd it go? Was it Arab? Is that what it was? One of the stocks got destroyed here. And way to go. There's a lot of stocks out here trading, by the way. It was KIT. It was KIT. That's what it was. MKIT, right? Was that what the symbol was? No, it wasn't that one. It was MKIT, I think it was. Where is it? Why is it on my losers list? It didn't show up. HKIT. So this stock, okay, so we've been trading the stock for, you can see from August. Great mover. All right, stock went from $10, $15, $20, $25, $40. And then it got very volatile. So we really haven't traded too much. But yesterday at 12 o'clock, oh my God, this thing got crushed, destroyed. So it went from $31 down to $3. Okay. Now, is there support levels? You're damn right there is, right there, right around the 433. So HKIT, just to let you know, I went on to level 4. I want to bring it over here to show you what we're going to be talking about. So you got a couple of iceberg orders right here. He canceled here, and then he went up here. So it's not a lot. It's about 20,000 shares. And HKIT, it's only traded about 1.5 million, but we could get a dead cat bounce. So HKIT, you could say whatever you want. $35 stock. You know me. I love bottom fishing. Okay. Yeah, Michael, we're going to talk about AI too, because that took a major hit too. That's on my watch list also. All right. So we got we got WHLR also that's making a nice little move today. So this is the issue with this stock. The spread's big. Remember, one of the biggest things that we teach you at Cybertrader University, remember, I know some of you yesterday that are going to be students after talking to them, and maybe some of you be potential students. Let me explain something to you. There's something called the 3 T's: tradable, trend, and trap. The first T is one of the most important T's. That's 50% of you are going to lose all your money because you're trading a stock that has a big spread, is too volatile, whatever it is. So that's why when you look at certain categories that we rate level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got to know, you got to make sure, are you at that level? Are you making that much money? Can you risk that much? So these are things you got to look out for. Now this stock, the point I'm bringing it up is small tier sizes, 100 tier sizes. Even it went up. I know it was a good move from 7 o'clock on to 7:30, but after that, it kind of slowed down. It is going on my watch list. It's got good volatility, 5.7 million shares, up 100%. But you better be a category 4 trade before you consider this one. AREB was another one that's moving too. It's up about 41%. It's cheap little stock, very inexpensive. Not really seeing too many big iceberg orders. I saw somebody out there for $28,000, $1.14. You can see him right here, moving up there. So he kind of hold it there. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it's cheap little stock. I'll take it. I'll hold on to it. Now, AI. Let's go to AI. Now, AI is getting crushed. So bad earnings yesterday on AI. Look at this stock. Huge. Got slammed. Okay, $32 down to 27. We had a lot of fun with AI. We traded AI from 16 up to 45. I think a lot of us kind of abandoned it. The AI, frenzy kind of quiet down a little bit. But you can see AI took a big hit right here. I'm seeing a big buyer, though, at $27 right now. And I'll show you right here. See him right there? Big buyer right here at 27 for 36,000. So I want to see what happens there. There's a lot of reds going on. There's a lot of orders out there. Now, for some of you that subscribe to our channel, I did do a video on a workshop on order volume and time and sales. So I'm seeing a lot of sells going on, but it's not breaking it. So keep an eye on that $27 price range. It is a really, looks like a really strong. Now, you might not see it on the long-term chart, but I see it in the future chart. And that's the difference between people trading on the past versus people like us that trade the future. All right. Next, cheap little stock right here, AFIE, IF, 30 up 31%, 500,000 shares. I don't really see too many orders out there, but she's kind of flat. ATIF, I'll put it on a watch list. It's not terrible. We already know about HKIT, and it's only up because of yesterday. All right, so that one's going to be a fun stock to trade. So, once again, just keep an eye on that one too. This one's got some big resistance level here at 16, 17%, 14%. I didn't see anything else I didn't like here. By the way, a couple of the stocks are taking big hits too. NVIDIA is down too because of the AI trade. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out why is NVIDIA going down, listen, NVIDIA's killing it because of the AI chip. All right, because they're like the pioneer of running the whole thing. All right, on anything else out there in New York? No. Losers on the NASDAQ, didn't really see too much out there. So the only bottom fishing I like is the Wheeler. New York Stock Exchange stock. So there was one stock a bunch of you guys are looking at is one of the ETFs. Now, I'm not a big fan of ETFs. And the reason why I'm not a big fan of ETFs is because it's kind of hard to see iceberg orders, okay? You get a lot of algorithms kicking in. So you're going to get a lot of this rainbow effect. There's orders everywhere. But she is moving pretty decently right here. And you know what? For some of us, once in a while, we do trade an ETF. So I'm putting this on the watch list. It's got a good spread. It's just going to be kind of hard to follow it. Yes, and also you're right, too. Michael, Chip is also taking a big hit, which I forgot to mention. Chip is also taking a hit right now, breaking all-time lows, and that's obviously not a good sign. So once again, ChargePoint. So if it's Chip, I think Plug should be going with it also. Well, Plug's really not going down too much. There's a couple of those stocks right there. Plug might follow along with it. So it looks like a couple of them are taking hits. I don't know. Do you know what the news is on Chip? By the way, we know what the news is on Chip, why it's going down. Is it earnings? I don't understand why Chip is going to be going down. ChargePoint. I mean, they're telling everybody to buy all these earnings. All right. Well, I don't know what happened. I thought we were all supposed to be driving electric cars. I was a fan of Chip. I thought it was actually, after hearing the news about all this electric car pushing stuff, that ChargePoint was going to move. I actually have one in my house too. So, but I bought it last year and my car got stolen 2 months later. So it's been sitting there. I don't even want to talk about that. It's another story in its own. But yeah, ChargePoint, we can keep an eye on the short right there. That's not a really good sign with ChargePoint going breaking new lows right there. That is an all-time low right there on ChargePoint. Yep, not really good. Donald says nice gap up on CBAY. Listen, the CBAY, I saw it. It's up 17%. I kind of passed on it because it's kind of been flatlined since 7:30. So I would probably put this on the probably the B list. Not on the A list. By the way, anybody on social media, on YouTube and Facebook, anyone here, any stocks you guys are looking at also you want to check out? I don't know if you guys just put in the chat right there in the overlay. I don't know if you guys are going to be there, but we're going to be trading with you guys. You're going to stick around going into the open. All right, that pretty much does it. Market's opening up in about her electric car sales in U.S. has slowed down. Chuck, you're right, because Ford, I'm glad you brought that up. Ford made an announcement that they lost literally, I mean, you can see it taking a hit right there. Ford took a hit about like $2 or $3 billion loss on electric cars. So, listen, if you're an electric car fan, you're against electric cars, you think it's a, Everyone has their theory on it, but the market doesn't lie. You know what I mean? Market doesn't lie. So I don't know. I think the next crash might be could be solar panels or the windmills. It all depends. If we get a change, we got an election coming up, and let me tell you, all it takes is the stroke of a pen to do an executive order, and all of a sudden, if that happens, you know where we're going to be, fellow traders. Short, 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 short. Everything that's out there, certain ones out there. All right. Michael says side list Tiger, TIGR. That stock's on pretty much had a nice push. It's on a downtrend, but I don't think it's on our short list, Michael. All right, let's get ready for the market open up. I'm sorry I've been talking too long. I only go about 15 minutes. Listen, we're going to start commentating about when the market opens up. If you're new here to Cybertrader University, make sure you talk to your education advisor and make sure you do your workshops that we give you. If you watch on social media, don't go anywhere. We're not going to log out. We're going to pick up when the market opens up. Cyber traders, you see something, you say something. All right, everybody? Let's get ready. I'm so excited about September. All right. Happy trading, everybody. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We sure are.
All right, we just opened up here. Let's see what we can get here within the first few minutes. That HKIT stock might be getting halted on the way down right out the gate.
Wheeler's coming down to, I think it's volatile Wheeler. You got to stay away from that right now. HKIT came crashing down.
Yeah, I was just calling that out. That might be getting halted soon the way it's going. And you want to follow the trend just when the market opens up. So the way the market was dropping off at first in pre-market, you got to follow that, I'd say. But VAX just breaking down below support here. That IONQ is crashing pretty bad going into the market open, Fausto. Now it's down over like 7 or 8% just about here. Let's see what else we can get, though. One of our students, Yehuda, calling out a pop on AREB. Oh, yeah, that's a halt. There we go. You see that, Fausto? Let me check on my level 4. I'm looking at another trade. Looking at AMD, seeing that break lower right now. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like he may have. Spy. Oh, yeah, definitely. There we go. Yeah, IONQ is getting smashed right now. I think it's going to keep dropping down towards like support around 1750-ish, probably even lower. See, I don't want to buy any puts right now. Just I'm looking more for a bounce over time, so I may have to be a little patient here this morning. AMD dropping right now. I mean, that's going to get to a support level I like, but we're really at a critical point, and the way the market looks, I think that we're going to go a little bit lower here first, but Rich, turn over to it on your screen. Where'd you get in from? What was your price? Oh, that took a huge hit yesterday, right? Where'd it go from like 40 down to like $4? I don't know, Rich, if you want to post that if you can. Lawrence, really nice trade on the H-Kit trade. Not getting 50 cents from Lawrence. Beautiful from him, one of our gold students there. John in and out there a bit. Yes, Jith, the H-Kit trade got halted. We were just talking about that on the mic. You got to listen in, you got to pay attention. But no, no, otherwise, I mean, it was a quick pop and halt for Fausto to jump in. Like, I'm not in it right now. If anyone had gotten in from like 450 or so, you're looking really good. There's plenty of other stocks out there, though. There's plenty of other trades that you could just focus on. Yeah, definitely. Ah, yeah, there you go. Let's see if that could build a higher low over time. I got to be careful here for the market to make a lower high right now. We're just about after at 935, so this is like kind of critical point to see what happens here across the market. Yep, there goes the market right now. So that goes inverse to like what the SPY does basically. I mean, that's it. It's the chip ETF. So like Nvidia and AMD trade inverse to that. So yep. So the market just made like a drop off right now. I was thinking it can make a lower high like that. That's where you gotta look for that trade socks for that to make a nice pop. Yep. Let's see what happens here. It looks like the market's still kind of lingering near the highs, trying to kind of just snapping back up. The AI trade, that's actually something I'm going to focus on personally right now. I'm waiting for that to drop a little bit more to get support right around 25.88 or $26. I forgot about that earlier. I don't want to lose sight of that. Yeah, so off the earnings, I forgot about them until you brought them up in the meeting. So I was like, oh, wow. So I look at the chart, and we've been trading AI forever now, right? Don't ask how I remember this. I have no life, so you know it's. But I remember distinctly the price 25.88. I was shouting it out like just for a number of weeks as like this could be a big level, and it was like for a number of weeks at a time. I wonder if it's going to drop down there today. It would be funny. Uh, it is really nicely, and it's got a great order book. It's not like crazy level 5 stock. It's pretty fast. For as crazy as this is, at least it has a pretty liquid book. Damn. I'll tell you what, I just missed the bounce on AMD. I called out that support level. It didn't drop low enough for me to plug in my entry. Ooh, nice slingshot on AMD right now, actually, as I'm talking. I'm still sizing up IONQ, and that just held support as well. Yeah, that's popping up nice, and you have an iceberg on the bid, it looked like. Yeah, about a 35,000. He's laddering up. Damn, AMD, really good slingshot so far. Yep, there you go, looking good. 'Definitely not. If AMD pulls back down towards, like, 106 and change, I definitely wanna get support there. Wow, that was a nice slingshot. Alright, so you just broke through it. That order just got filled.
Right here, look at laddered. He laddered. He did get executed, right?
Yeah, that completely got filled. I zoomed in pretty tight. $25.88's my price. Stand by it. 25.88. Yep, 25.88. Now, if it blows right through there, then obviously there's no entry. But, we teach, and of course, I say this out loud to all of us, especially on YouTube right now, perhaps, but, um, we teach this in our class as far as how to actually enter the trade. So I'm calling out support, looking for a bounce on AI at a lower price, but if it just sinks right under it, there's no entry. I'm not jumping in then. It's a certain strategy behind it. We teach that. Well, that was off the jobs report this morning, right? Just in general, just seeing the market sink at first. Kind of expected a little bit, just given September being historically a bad month, and I guess that's to be expected a bit. I'll tell you what, that's not good. I'll tell the one thing I'm going to mention on AI, Fausto, that I'm not a fan of. Looking at the cyber clock, we got a little bit more time until that famed reversal, hours. So I was actually discussing that on a coaching call early this morning in pre-market with one of our students, Pablo, and I said literally like just that to him. I was like, if it's between 9:40 and 10 o'clock, the stock is dropping. It's tough to look for that bounce right there because you got a little bit more time to go. It won't deter me for looking for the entry, but if it breaks right under that price, it won't shock me. TSP. Oh, it's a nice little trade there. Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the one thing with it, at least it does have like a good book. It's not on like a crazy spread, but that doesn't make it level one. What makes it level one is how fast or how slow it's moving. That is not a slow moving stock. Um, all right, I'll tell you what, outside of that AI setup I'm looking for with like my AMD and the rest of the market, I'm going to hang back and just focus on that AREB with you and see if that could build a higher low over time. It is, it is. I've been like now since I remembered it, I'm like just sizing it up now. Yeah, he got out with a nice trade, nice profit from him from Sydney. AI trying to pump up a tiny amount here, but I don't know about that. That could be the move I actually want because that could be the head fake, then for it to tank more, and then I get my bounce. Yeah, IONQ looks like it's ready to break new lows. That is just laying its support. And that. Ooh. AFRM dropped off nicely today. That was a good short. Tr- It is. That's the thing. It's like, and if AI bounces without me here, I will be a little upset. I know my level, so just would be unfortunate if it would go without me, but we're patient. It is. Well, as expected, that IONQ just tanked. That broke down really well, like a Fausto flag to the downside, pretty much. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think we might get a small bounce in IONQ here, 1710, but it's got to hold higher lows right from this point. If the market's going to turn over, then it'll likely just go with it. All right, here comes AI down to at least 26. It made that head fake I was expecting. Still a little early on reversal time. That's just the only concern, but it's a strong setup. It's a strong setup. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. 25.88 is my price. Historical level. Well, if it slices under it, then there's no entry, but if it goes under and over, if it goes under and it stays under, just like we te just like I teach in class, there's no entry. All right, keep talking. It's all right. If it drops off, I'm not in. I didn't buy. It broke under it, didn't break back over it. I'm not in. But I know my levels. Don't I wouldn't I wouldn't yeah. Well, market's pulling back right now, so that's the whole issue on everything. I got stopped out on a small loss, very tiny loss on IONQ, 3-cent loss there from 1712. Just snapped down lower. But that AI trade, I'm still going to be a fan of 25.88 just over time. May. If it's not today, then it might be tomorrow. But where? Well, next support on AI is 25, so I would love to take the entry there if I can. All good. I don't want to catch a falling knife. You don't want to keep like looking for a bottom, but even if I took a loss there, it's like, all right, well, next support 25, I'll just get it from there. But how's Mara doing today? I got that iceberg at $11 on that trade. I do think Bitcoin's going to drop a lot lower, so we got to be prepared. If you're in this, all right. So AI back up towards 25.88. Definitely interested in seeing if it's going to build support over time, but it broke under it so fast. It should act as resistance initially, just like we teach in class. Support should become resistance initially, but over time, we'll see if that could blast over that price. That would lead to a good entry. Stock that shook me out on a small loss, I will say that IONQ popped back up suddenly. So I might consider an entry again on it, but I'm more bullish or I'm more hawking the AI trade. That IONQ is definitely like not a level one stock. Not just because I took a loss on it. That's just been moving so well of late. The more it moves well, it's going to get faster, and the faster it gets, then it's going to have some shakes every now and then. But yeah, I say that to new students. Just because it has a liquid order book or good spread, all that good stuff, doesn't guarantee it's level one. All right, AI. Let's see what you could do here. Let's see what we could do here. As long as we maintain over 2588 now on AI, then we're looking pretty damn good. There's my entry. So if it keep, this is a moment of truth on the AI. So if it can't hold over my price now, 2588, then no ball. There's no game right there. This is tough. This is going to be tough for AI right now, Fausto. Good entry and everything right now, but the market's just sinking, or it's just like steady down. Yeah. Again, I was shocked when IONQ was down over 5% right before the open. Now it's down over 12%. That's crazy. Yeah, I actually hear that briefly. All right, so Fausto, just give me a quick sec here. Um, I have one of our members just messaging me, anonymous, but just messaging me, just basically saying like, "Hey, I'm having a tough time just like figuring out where to get in and out. Always a daily dollar short for getting in on trades." I believe they have access to the Phase One course. That's the Cyber Group Plus. But really, I'd say if anything, the more that you're with us, it's going to be able to give you the chance to slow things down a lot more. It might be easy for me to say that here to you, but really, all of our students like Grant and Brian and Jith and Andre and Donald and Sydney and John and Andrea and all of our students joining us right now. I mean, they've all joined us at different times. So, certainly, I'd say a number of months down the line, a couple months even, probably even a month, just go through everything in full, and you're going to have a much better ability to slow the pitch down, as I like to say, and all becomes a lot easier in nature. Even myself, I'm not catching every trade under the sun today. Fausto's not, catching every. I mean, like what we're calling out. If we jump in, yeah, looking good so far. But there's plenty of other stocks that are moving that we're not in, right? So as far as missing out on trades, it happens to the best of us. We just have to be able to kind of, I'll just say less is more, right? Keep it simple. The AI trade hasn't really gone much of anywhere, and not too surprising with I thought it being a little early for that bounce time, if anything. That was the only criticism I had on it. If it just flattens out here, I guess we'll hang on, but AMD did pull back. Okay, hello. AMD pulled back pretty nicely. Right right down to a support level here. The question is, once again, are we gonna bounce? That the IONQ, I was not as I was more skeptical of a real bounce. It just pulled right back down. Good bounce so far on the AI, but I I ended up buying calls for October on it, so I set it out a little further out. Hey, I'm calling it a historical level, that 2588. So, you know what? If that's historical, then that could be a nice swing entry over time. And I don't want to turn a day into a swing trade like impulsively, but at least that's setting it out further, the expiration date. It gives you a little bit more leeway. Be careful right now. The SPY beginning to pull back a little bit more, getting closer towards the pre-market low. I yeah, I did see that. Or I just saw like the spectrum aspect of it, and I didn't know it was. I've honestly kept out of the news a bit. I don't know why. Just no bad reason or anything. Just I didn't know it was with Disney even. I knew it was Spectrum related. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Spectrum, Disney, ESPN. Yeah. Um, hmm. So fill me in more. What's going on with that? Hmm. I remember when I first moved to Florida, I got Sling TV, some cheap service, and right away there was some issue with ESPN in them, and they took them off their streaming service. So YouTube TV is definitely where it's at. YouTube TV it's like 75, $80 a month, but it is perfect. Has everything that you need. Yeah, it's like 75 or yeah, then maybe they just jacked it up to like 80, but it's so worth it. Just really nice. It's clean, no jam ups at all, really. All right, the market is pulling back again here. It looks like AMD just broke right under my support line. feel like the AI trade's going to come back down a little bit more. I'm pessimistic, but we'll see. I like the entry still. It's just the fact that you want to see a really strong bounce. Yeah, let me check. V is in Victor. When did you jump in? When did you first jump in? Damn, so you've been in from earlier this year? Okay, so that okay, well no, like all the way back in February is when it was at like 140, February, March time. So all right, so that I can't go back that far, but let's just say even I know it gapped up big in August and then pulled back a slight amount. Yeah, so like let's say after their earnings, if you took options on it, maybe if you took like a 180 call, maybe like for like the strike price of 180, it bounced right off of there. So I'd say that's like a safe thought. Let's just see. I'm just going to check the charts right now. Just bear with me for one moment. All right, so you're talking really getting in from like 450, $5. It's now at $14 the contract. So you're up nearly 300%. But, you know, that's easy to say in terms of just like oh, that's a good question. Good question. That was for September 8th, actually. So let's go January. It's going to be let's do the same deal, same exact play, getting in after the earnings. Like it was at like $14.50. Now it's at 21.40. So you're up like 50% there pretty much. Oh yeah, that's when it comes off in news, it's like a nice stock at times. Good level one or two. Getting a small bounce, it's down, but getting a small bounce on AMD right now and trying to go up a tiny, actually getting a few bounces right now. All the same, like they're down percentage wise as far as the day. That IONQ is trying to go back up again. This might be the real move there that I was looking for initially. Took a 3-cent loss on it first. That is just ripping up right now a bit from 17. And I'll tell you what, it's on my side list. I haven't called it out yet this morning, but well, maybe once before the open, but MSOS, like the pot ETF, I don't know, something about that. I feel like you could see more action on that at some point today. So I've had that in my rotation. It's making a tiny bounce beginning. TLRY is actually at 295 right now, moving up a tiny amount there. Yeah, AI is pulling back a little bit here down towards 2620. So, just keep your stop set. I was supposed to go. I have a warrant for my arrest out there in Canada. Kidding, of course. That'd be pretty crazy. 9 years in, Fausto. Didn't know that, huh? Oh man. Last time I was in Canada, jeez, they're talking. I was in like a I was in like a travel teen tour. It was in Canada. That was the last time. And Chuck making some good money on that Sox trade. John making some money on AREB. There you go. No, Chuck in right from that 10 level. Whole number at 10. There you go. All right, so yeah, ARB's trying to perk back up a bit, isn't it? It's moving back over like 170, 169, which is a nice level I have my eyes on. It has to hold over it. Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, that is like freaking awesome. That is a beautiful move. I had on my book map. I didn't even have it on my main chart. It just looks so clean on a regular chart, just down to 5, back up. There's a trick. Yeah, there was a trade just like that. There was a trade just like that yesterday on NVAX really quick. There was like a 104,000 share iceberg midday, went right down to it, hit it, bounced right back up for like, 50 cents. I was like, oh, how clean. Wish AI could look like that right now. I'd say anywhere near 11 is good for a swing entry now at this point. Even if it's under, that's better. If it's over, that's fine. It, I I just don't think that we're going to break any lower at this stage. So it might take a while for it to like pump up with Bitcoin. If I'm right with Bitcoin dropping lower first, then it's just going to take longer for this to really fly like to 20 and like make that big swing trade that we want. Uh, Slow and steady wins the race, though, right? TLR, I gotta call it out. I can't believe this. TLRY is trying to bounce right now a bit. It is on a nice, tiny little move. It just bounced from 282 to 299 today. It's at the highs. It, I mean, hey man, if we can get that type of run we had in 2018 and in 2021 that we had 22. Hey, let's get the run that we had back in 2021. What did it go from? It only went from $10 to 67. Yeah, it's such a nice trade. I, I'll tell you what, I mean, you don't want to hold your breath waiting for it, especially not from earlier, but the way it's looking now, it's like you're absolutely like this might I don't even want to say it. I don't want to jinx it, but this might keep going up pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah. None. It has a perfect order book. It's cheap. It is literally the perfect trade. And hey, like I said it earlier, there's trades that Fausto's not in that we're calling out. There's trades I'm not in that Fausto's calling. I'm not in this chip trade, right? I had my focus on other stocks, and as long as they're going up, that's the name of the game. But that chip is the best trade of the morning. My AI now, finally, don't jinx me, Rich, but finally my AI is going up pretty damn nice. AMD had a shake on me just before, but now bouncing up, a bit better. So, there's opportunity out there. You can't always catch the perfect one at the perfect time, but that's why you're here. So it gives everyone a good chance to try and get in on at least one. Like right now, the ARAB, what the hell just happened here? It just exploded up again. I was saying if that could hold over 170, but I was very skeptical of that breaking out like this. What a move. Exactly. But hey, it's on our list. We've been calling it out. So if you were watching it right before that popped, then you had a good bid. I was calling it out. I said 170 or 169. I wish I took my own call out because that freaking held perfect and ripped. But again, we're on other trades. Yeah, dude, this has just become a great morning all of a sudden between like the chip. I mean, like for my sake, AMD making a good bounce, the AI Tilray trying to go, knocking knocking on wood as I say that. My running gag with the students in our chat board yesterday was I put my necklace of garlic on, try and make sure that we don't jinx Tilray here. Is on your home living channel. I like that. It's a good name. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty cool. Sauce Boss is your new theme song from James Brown. AI. Mhm. It's a nice mix of it's like a black and white. There's some gray area in between where, like, hey, there's going to be some action coming up. That doesn't mean to just jump into anything to just jump in, because honestly, you're not going to have as much action coming up compared to what we just had. But if you're patient enough, and if you have certain, how do you say, if you're sticking around and still kind of cycling through a few different trades, well, less is more, but eventually you're going to be more privy to jump in when you should. And, at least you're going to be able to squeeze out a couple more runners out there. Oh my God. Hmm. Yeah. Similar. It's similar patterns in terms of what happens when the volume dies off. A classic rule that we go over here, and we like really go over this daily inside our live trading room, right? Like Monday to Friday, every day we see these. So in our trading room, we always say when a stock gets halted on the way down, that's like pretty much a wrap. That's game over. That's it. So as soon as that got halted down and it gapped down much lower, then it was a sinking ship from there. I think the Titanic's prettier looking than that H-Kit trade right now. Oh, yeah, that's also a very thinly traded stock. We gotta wa here comes a down halt, and just as I said that, oof, it looked like it was gonna. I got a weird feel on Tilray today, Fausto. Got a weird feel. Eh, I'll tell you, outside of yesterday morning in the first 15 minutes where it got crushed, it didn't have a bad afternoon, just chopped around. It moved up a tiny bit today, bouncing. Oh yeah, I don't know, definitely that uh, yeah. And you got to call him out, right? Because pops up and has a good book and continues, then we want to keep our eyes on it, like that Fubo that you called out. But really good question from one of our members, Robert. Here, I think he might be Cyber Group Plus, perhaps, or maybe one of our new gold students. Even got to just make sure I get that right. So it says, so the first four videos to phase one to get over to phase two or continue. Continue through phase one, definitely. Go through all of phase one. There's about 16 total classes throughout phase one. In the beginning of every class I teach, just so you know, Robert, I show that class calendar, in the very beginning of every class. So it shows you kind of where we're up to speed in the education cycle. So I'd recommend going through all of phase one first, and then then if you're interested in doing more with phase two, phase three, then definitely talk to your education advisor on that. AI is still going, still making a good move here. So far so good for my 2588. again, I set the calls out for for October. So if I want to hold on, I can, but the more it pumps up, then I'll just look to take the money. Like you always say, Fausto, with the swing trade, one of the things I know that you're most privy to with swing trading is when it goes up too fast, that's where you're more likely to get out, right? Mm, you nailed that one. That was a really good one. I remember that. Yeah, that too. Tr- yeah, DWAC. I'm trying to see if there's any news out on IONQ. It's getting beat up again, down 14% now. I saw Kramer talking about it last night on his show, but that doesn't mean much. I got a weird feeling about some like short report coming out. I don't know. I got a hunch. I could be wrong on that. Like one of those firms saying, "Oh, we're short. This company sucks," and then the stock drops like 30%. This is a crazy move down for IONQ today. You know, charge point chip. Definitely. I'll be back at least at 2:30 in the afternoon for all of us as well, for all of us inside our live trading room and all of us back on social as well. Talk to you folks then.